Hey guys, Alphafish here, and today we're going to be talking about gem production and how to increase gem production. So, little castles are going to need at least 400,000 gems to fully upgrade their specific buildings, like treasure trove, um, the altar here, the battle hall, and the prison. Now, when I say 400,000 gems, I mean accumulatively, and this is going to be over time. So it's not like you need 400,000 gems now. No, it's over time. But the first building you're going to want to max out is this treasure trove, because when you get it maxed out, you get 20,000 max deposit, which that's going to give you a 10,000 gem profit every 30 days, which I recommend. 30-day deposit. Don't do anything less. It doesn't give you as much of a payout percentage, which 30-day deposit gives you 50%, and a larger. It just gives you more gems. Okay, so don't do anything less than 30 days. Another way to increase your deposit is here in Army Leadership. There is max deposit 1, and I recommend getting it 6 out of 10, because anything higher than that with an undeveloped castle, it's going to take too long. Plus, you have to do all of this crap above it before you can even upgrade this. You know how Lords is. You know how it is. So 6 out of 10 is good enough, and then after you get a lot of your other research done, then you can come back to it. Right. So you want to make sure that you get that up. There is a max deposit too, but it's kind of far down, and it would take even longer to get this one up. And as you see, it doesn't give as much as max deposit 1 does. So it's not as useful, and it takes longer, so I haven't even bothered to try to get to it yet. I don't see the point in it yet, especially since I haven't maxed out max deposit 1. So I have some other stuff to do on my castle before I go into max deposit 2. Another way is Colosseum, right? So if you guys have watched my other videos, you probably know I'm free to play. I don't have any pay to win heroes, except for the ones that you get from the events like this, where these challenge events. So I have a few pay to play, but they're all white or gray, whatever you want to call it. They're all gray. They're not upgraded or anything like that. Levels and badges, that's it. They don't have medals. So this is the lineup that I recommend for a lot of new players. Try to get these heroes as quickly as possible. Uh, get their levels up first, primary. Second, their rank is second most important, and then their medals is the least important of those three. So that's just how much power they add to the hero itself. So once again, level adds the most power, rank adds secondary amount of power, and then medals add a third, just very little. So make sure you get these up, and make sure you maintain a decent rank. Get as high as you can. You know, do this every day, and you'll benefit from it, because you get a certain amount of gems per hour based on what your rank is. So this can be very useful in gathering gems. And at first, it's not a lot, but after you wait a couple of weeks, it turns out to be a lot. And I think the gem rewards maxes out. I think it caps at like 20,000 gems. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's 20,000. So it gives a good amount of gems. And another way is hunting. So depending on where your guild is with hunting, how many people hunt, how many active members you have that hunt in the guild, you can get a lot of guild gifts, which give gems occasionally. So anytime you get gems, or before you open your box, you should look at your gems and see how many you have. Open all of your boxes and then look back and see how much you gained. So earlier this morning on one of my accounts, I opened like 80 gifts. I didn't get a single gem. But my other accounts, sometimes I'll get 300 gems here, 3,000 gems here. It's all random, and it depends on what level of gift boxes you're opening to. So, the rarity, which comes to what you're hunting. You know, if you're hunting level 1 enemies, level 2, level 3. But if you're hunting level 3, you're probably not going to be watching this video because you're experienced at that point. Unless you got money and you don't know how to play, then you'll be watching this. And if that's the case, check out my other videos because you'll benefit from them. So, um, with hunting, I recommend trying to get as many hits as you can on monsters, up to a certain extent, because if you can hit a level 1 like 12 times, then there's no point in hunting level 1s. You need to go to level 2s. I recommend at least 5 hits. If you can get 5 hits, you might be able to get, gems once if you hit them 5 times. Really, it's all random. You don't get gems every time. But you want to get a decent amount of hits on the monster so you have a better chance of getting the gems in the first place. So, of course, with higher level monsters, if you do get gems, that's great because they give a lot of gems. But the problem is, if you can only hit the dang thing 3 times, there's no point because you're not going to get any gems really. Maybe every few days you'll get a stack of gems from hitting a level 3 like 3 times, but it's not very effective. It just isn't. So I'd stick with either level 1, or if you have really good monster hunting research and stuff, try level 2. Um, gem resource tiles. So if you have played for a while and you've been through KVK, or as it's called, Kingdom versus Kingdom, Kingdom Clash, whatever you want to call it, War of Kingdoms. Whether your kingdom wins or loses, you get gem resource tiles, gem loads, as they're called, which you can gather and get gems. And at the bottom of the economy tree and the research, there is gem harvesting, which I haven't maxed mine out because I hate gathering, especially gem loads, just because other people are huge buttholes and they want to attack your tiles and take your tiles from you. And if you've watched, sorry, mustache itches. If you have watched my other videos, you'll know that I like to keep my infirmaries 0 at empty. I like to keep them completely empty, so if I forget to shield or something, I can hold as many troops as possible. So I have time to get to my game and log in before I start taking reds. So this is one big reason why I don't. This is probably the only reason why I don't gathers, because I like to keep my infirmaries empty, and you don't get to 240 million by losing troops. Tell you. So if you guys think that I don't have troops, you're wrong. So I am free to play, and I I'm very dedicated to this game, logging in every day. I have my own routine, but gem harvesting can be useful. It can if you don't mind gathering. Just make sure you're alert, you're close to your phone, if not online, to watch your tiles, because it's the easy way to lose troops, and you've probably figured that out by now. So there's that, and if your kingdom loses, you're guaranteed level 1 gem load tiles, and if your kingdom wins, then you'll have a bunch of different ranges of tile levels for the gems. So as far as the gems go, you want a steady supply of them every day, like a steady production rate. So that's why I don't necessarily rely on the gem tiles, because they only come around when KVK is here or after KVK, and they only stick around for like a day or two. I think that might be dependent on whether your kingdom wins or loses too. I don't know for sure, but it's not a steady income of gems, if you know what I mean. Like you can't rely on it all the time because you're not getting gems from that every day. Also, if you are heavy into like familiars and you're a big familiar fanatic, there is a gemming gremlin familiar that you can get your hands on that will supply you with gems. Depending on what level the skill is at, you can collect gems. It's not a large amount; it's a very small amount, but it can be useful. But if you're new to the game, I advise not going into familiars just because it drains your resources trying to get all of the packs done. Like it's not good for new players. Plus, the percentages that you get from the familiars are very minute. So they're very little stat amounts, percentages. Which, when you're new, there's so much other stuff, so much research and stuff that you can do to get such larger percent rates for all of your stats. So, really, at the beginning of the game, you need to save your resources for all of the research and stuff that you have to do. And then when you get all of that stuff done, if you can't find any large chunks of stats, then you can start looking towards familiars to kind of give your castle like another leg up. But other than that, I wouldn't go after familiars until you at least get a decent amount of military done and stuff, because the research for familiars, it stacks up really fast. At first it's, a couple hours, couple days, but it stacks really fast and it becomes a huge burden until you get a lot of research gear and a good research reduction rate. So that's pretty much it for gems. I will add that after you get your buildings maxed out, the ones that you have to have special materials for that you used your gems to purchase, you can put gems towards troop production or troop training. And you can put your gems towards like a 24-hour shield, which are really cheap to buy if you have a decent amount of gem production. So there's that to look forward to. And I have videos on training troops with gems. Don't sit there and click that finish now button. You get ripped off. I've seen so many pay-to-play people on YouTube sitting there spamming that dang button, man. They're wasting so many gems, and they're like, who cares? I have millions. Well, yeah, well, you're wasting gems, and you're making us free-to-play people cry. So go check out that video, and you'll find out why I have so many troops. So check that out. That's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you and possibly make another video based around your comments. So peace out, and I'll see you in the next one.